New at noon. Imagine this: no air conditioning. People in one apartment complex say that's what they're dealing with on what is the hottest day of the year so far. And now police are involved. This is all happening right now at the Aqua Vista Apartments in Newport News. City code officers say management locked them out of the office when confronting them with the issue. Those officials tell 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens that the property will be cited and residents are demanding a fix and a fast one.
It's more mamas, it's more older people. A lady just passed out last week that I had to go help her buy a fan for her because she was in her apartment passed out and I had to call the ambulance for her. Yes, and it's just terrible out here, and we don't have rights here and don't nobody care.
Management told code officials they won't have anyone out there to fix the units until next week, but they're taking steps to fix this problem. 13 News Now reporter Nico Clemens will have much more on this tonight at 4.